and all these. It had to be at least mono, right?
I think it was reported it was mono. And 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 so I think at this point, like, you got to look at Claxton. You're just like, oh, like, he basically didn't have a productive summer, coupled with the fact that he missed the first 2 months or whatever of this year, and like, he's basically 5 months behind right now. Like, I don't think there's any other way to really look at it. Like, that's where he's at. Like,
How does a 22-year-old get 5 months behind?
I know it's an issue, but look, I mean, look. One thing is for certain, right? If the Nets want to win a title, like, unless Kyrie comes back, unless we get a Woj bomb during this podcast that says Kyrie's in the process of ramping up and he will be back on January 1st, let's say, or whatever, which isn't happening. We like,
But Sam, he could come back March 1st. All I care, as long as he comes back.
oh no, I agree. I was going to make a reference to what you were saying before regarding Claxton. I think I think that it's clear, completely clear, that Sean Marks thought that, and Nash thought, we added more talent. This team got better. We're going to be better. But the loss of Kyrie has shown that this team actually lacks athleticism. It's missing a 35-year-old Jeff Green, who is the only guy on the team who it seems like knew how to dunk. And like, it's now put up or shut up for this team to make. They're gonna have to make some. They're gonna have to make some moves. Like, they're going to have to, whether that involves a deal with Claxton or it involves a deal with Cam Thomas or it involves them using this TPE. I mean, look, like, I will never in my life call Joe Tsai cheap, because he's not, and the Nets have the second biggest payroll and whatnot. But look, like, the Nets didn't want DeAndre Jordan to be on the books for monetary reasons, and they gave up, what was it, 4 second-round picks with that? That could be used that could have been used in a potential trade.
Yep.
Like, if the Nets were willing to just cut DeAndre Jordan and eat it or whatever, like,
They'd have an asset to maybe try to improve what they have right now.
They'd have right, exactly, they'd have four more seconds. So now they're lower on seconds. They have no first because of the Harden trade. And so what you're looking at is, like, someone of Claxton, in my opinion, someone of Claxton, Bruce Brown, or Cam Thomas, because those are the three younger-ish assets. I wouldn't even call Bruce Brown an asset, especially with the way he's been playing this year. But one of those three guys seems like they have to be traded, because, like, the team does – I think the team does need to make some type of move. And I don't know what it is yet. I think there are guys that me and you have all talked about.
You know what's killing the Nets too, Sam? There's this little secret under the happening out in the open, but people are paying attention to it because the reality of it is kind of bubbling underneath the surface. What's also happening to the Nets right now is that there are competitors that can win a championship, that are competing for to be a championship level team, that have all their assets.
Yep. It's a great point.
We didn't know that there was going to be a Chicago Bulls on the scene that would be like, let's face it, right now, without Kyrie, they're better than us. Right? And they have so much in the form of assets that they can go get better. I heard someone say they might do a trade for Siakam. I had to sit back and think, like, damn. You can add Siakam to, damn. Right? Not that
right.
That's better than the three of what we have, right? That's not just the thing. We don't have a way to get better than them no matter what. like, even if we would, so let's say we had the choice of trading Kyrie, which we don't, right? But there isn't a trade like what Kyrie has effectively done to us has made it where even if you traded one of these big three components, they don't have any worth in the open market. And you can't even get better that way. So the Nets are pretty stuck. like really the only solution is that Kyrie comes back.
Yeah, I mean, the only way that they can win a title, in my opinion, at this juncture, is Kyrie coming back, because if Harden is going to be a top 20 player instead of a top 5 player, they can't win with KD being the best and Harden being top 20, because then the drop off after that is too steep. Like, it's just not. It's just they don't have the same margin for error anymore. And
Sam,
and
here's the more insidious thing. Here's the worst part of all of this, right? Even if Kyrie came back, even if they win a championship, right? Let's say they win a championship.
Yep.
Can you give James Harden a contract that in the last year he's going to be making $60 million?
Well, if they win a title, then honestly they could sign Patty Mills to be making $50 million. I'm gonna be okay with it. I'm so concerned about this year and about, but I do agree. I think the Harden thing is. I think the Harden thing is
but that gun to you it's like Sean Marks is operating with literally a gun to his head. We could end up at the other end of this thing being in a worse situation than the Billy King.
No, because KD's locked in.
KD could be. I'm not talking about for the years that KD is around. I'm talking about the post KD years.
Yeah, but KD is locked in for so long that even by the time he's done, they're basically going to be able to have their picks back.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
And look, you've been saying this, by the way, and it's actually something that I think people thought you were joking about this and whatnot. But the combination of the Nets organization, and what they are. The practice facility, their owner, their coach, and their GM, coupled with now KD locked in, I'm not even trying to talk about this, but if for some reason the Kyrie Harden aspect of it blows up in some way, shape, or form, or one of them does.
Yeah, we signed Levine and Jason Tatum. Let's go.
I think we know that people want to play with KD, and KD is not one of these superstars like the way LeBron is, who's kind of polarizing. KD is the guy on the USA national team that's propping up all of his guys. He's saying,
right.
"Oh,
KD doesn't want to be your agent either."
Yeah, he's the one saying Booker's on the come up, Beal's on the come up, Levine's on the come up. He is a baller's baller who wants to be surrounded by great guys, which I think is what makes, all in all, going full circle. That's what makes this Kyrie Harden thing annoying, because it's just dude, we have three of the best pure basketball players, and besides Curry, we basically have the three most skilled guys in basketball. Would you agree? Who's more skilled than these three?
I think that, and of course people would say I was biased, but taking all of the bias aside, as brilliant as Steph Curry is, as good as he is, he's not. I don't think he's better than Kyrie Irving. And Kyrie Irving is the third of our great players. I think Kyrie Irving has more talent and ability in his repaired shoulder than I'm just talking about gifts. I feel like Stephen Curry was created, or it was just a kid with an abnormal will to want to be like his dad. So he shot 500 times, for breakfast. He shot another 500 times for lunch. And then he came home and shot another 1,000 times to become the greatest shooter that ever lived. I think that Steph Curry wants to be that. But Kyrie Irving can be that. Kyrie Irving is that. It's just, it's like, eh. And it's such a fucking shame. Because Kyrie Irving is to me is as if his head matched his game, he's better than him.
Can I? Can
Is
I
that
say
crazy?
No, I mean I know what you're getting at. I mean I'm a massive. I think Steph's shooting ability basically makes him like the second or third best offensive player ever, behind like
But okay,
Jordan, Kareem, and stuff like that. But like,
yes. Is he a better shooter? Yes. I think Kyrie's more efficient than he is. I think I think
last year he was amazing.
I think that because Kyrie can get anywhere on the court, he doesn't have to rely on the three like Steph Curry does. If Steph could dribble like Kyrie could dribble, he probably would not be the greatest 3-point shooter ever. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I know what you mean.
it almost makes them equal because Kyrie's layup package is so far more advanced than Steph Curry's layup package, which is also very good. I just think he's better. And then on top of it, like, what are we doing? Is Kevin Durant better than Steph Curry? And the whole 7-foot thing and being a 50, 40, 90 guy, it just goes to show, like, we're better than them. It's our supporting cast that fucking sucks.
Can I say one thing? I want to say one thing about Kyrie that I think like gets lost a little bit because he has his like insane followers while also people who hate him, and then you have like people in the middle like me and you who really like actually really like love him but just want to see him on the court and doing like the one right thing, which is like getting the vaccine. But I think what I wonder if Kyrie understands this, and he might not also care, and he probably doesn't. But I think you'll know what I'm saying when I say this, and especially because you're older than me and you've seen this happen. Like, KD is the best player on the Nets by leaps and bounds at this point, and he's gonna be the guy that like if they win a title, he'll be the Finals MVP no matter how well he plays or doesn't play because he's just that guy. But Kyrie, because he was a fan of this team growing up, because of his like outreach in the community here, because of his connections to the tri-state area and stuff like that, people can make fun of the Nets fan base, but if he wins a title here, he does become a New York sports like legend in a way that's just different than other guys. Like he gets put in like the pantheon of like, oh, he was the guy from this area who was playing in high school games in Jersey and the Bronx and stuff like that, and then won a title playing on Atlantic Avenue. Like, it just has a different legacy feel that I don't want to say like, oh, it's like Jeter, or it's like if like David Wright won with the Mets, or like Eli Manning, but there
was a default love that he got. Like, I used to say it all the time last year. Harden might be the regular season MVP. Kevin Durant will probably be the Finals MVP or the playoff MVP. But Kyrie is the team MVP. I said that all throughout the year last year. And if, like, let's say we won a championship and he made a bucket like the one he made in Cleveland, he has love forever in this town.
Yep.
Forever.
Yep.
The reason why Nets fans aren't getting along right now is because of just how polarized this is.
Yep.
And I don't think it should be polarized. I think no one does Kyrie any good being his sycophant.
Yep.
Right? Like, what good? just let's think. We're not Kyrie's friends. We're fans, right? We're not his friends. Let's not get delusional. But if we care about that dude,